10th of July, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi.
Okay. Okay. So we're back to Pasuk Tezvot. Okay, I'm just going to explain to you what Rashi think. This is where we ended off yesterday. The halachas of transferring tumah to a kli, to a vessel, are basically that they if somebody who is tomei, either the person or an object is tomei, became tomei, whatever, or let's say the classic example, a dead rodent, a sheretz, a dead rodent came in contact with a kli. Okay, now the din is the kli becomes tomei. Now, how does it become tomei? So, with all materials, with the exception of earthenware kalim, but if it's metal or wood or made of, let's say, material, leather, wool and linen, or any other form of material, then the kli only becomes tomei through contact, unless, as we mentioned over here, and this is what we mentioned over here, Kol means any object which is inside the same roof, under the same roof as a dead corpse, that becomes tomei. Okay? Now, normally, with the exception of tumas mace, let's say in case of a sheretz, right, the rodent, he's only metamer something else, a dead animal, or a nevela for that matter. The nevela is only metamer anything that comes in, only something which comes in contact with it. But if a nevela, you have a dead rodent or a dead animal inside the house, then anything else inside the house does not become tomei. Only if it comes in contact with the carcass or the dead rodent, whatever, only then does it become tomei. However, there's one exception to that rule, and that is a kli cheres. Okay? So kli cheres, the din is, now has a very strange, whatever, it has a unique unique din as follows, that it can become tomei from within, even without contact. For instance, somebody hangs a sheretz, a dead rodent, inside a kli cheres, right? And it's only in the airspace of the kli cheres, but it's not actually in contact with the kli cheres, like it's hanging suspended in midair, but in the airspace of the kli cheres becomes tomei. Oh. Okay? And obviously, needless to say, if it comes in contact with the kli cheres, the sides of the kli cheres from the inside, it becomes the kli cheres becomes tomei. However, if a sheretz touches the kli cheres from the outside, then the kli cheres does not become tomei. So it has one thing unique, lechumra, that even if the tumah doesn't actually come in physical contact with the kli, it just was in the airspace of the kli, that already makes the kli tomei. and it has a cooler that if it touches it from the outside, let's say, for instance, somebody took a sheret and he touched it to the outside of a metal kli, or a glass kli, or a wooden kli, then the kli would become tamei. But you touch it to the outside of an earthenware kli, the kli does not become tamei. That is Gabe din of Tumas Maga. Now, here where we're discussing Tumas Oyel, so basically the svara behind it is as follows. When something is in the same, under the same roof as a corpse, it is as if the corpse is touching the actual object which is underneath the same roof. It's like the tumah fills up the entire room, and it's as if that the actual corpse is in contact with that object. So therefore the Torah says, and this is what the Pasuk is telling here in Tesvav, that if you have an open earthenware kli, so that's as if there I consider, and it's under the same roof as a corpse, then I consider the tumah can penetrate into the kli because there's nothing stopping it from penetrating, right? The kli is open, has an open, the cover is open, so therefore the kli can penetrate, the tumah can penetrate inside and will make the kli tamei. However, if the earthenware kli is on the same roof as this corpse, but it has a tight seal on top of the kli, closing up the kli cheres, the kli will not become tamei. Why? Because from the inside it can't become tamei because there's a tight seal on top. From the outside, it's not going to become tamei because it's a kli cheres. The kli cheres doesn't become tamei from the outside. So that's basically what the halacha, the din, which this pasuk is telling us. That's what Rashi says, and we can do over the Rashi. I think Lou, you read the Rashi, yeah.
This is Vav.
Yeah, Tesvav.
I think I'm in the wrong place. What chapter are we?
Chapter Yud 19.
Okay. Yud Tes. Tesvav.
Parsha Chukas, yeah? You got it?
Yeah, I'm in the right. I got it now. The whole kli fatuach bichli cheres hakasuv midaber. The verse speaks of an earthenware vessel. Ve'ein mikabel tum'ah migabo, which does not receive impurity through its outer surface. Ella mitocho, rather through its inner surface. Lefichach, therefore, im ein migufei,
Megufas, I have.
Megufas, Timidaso Pesula Alav Yafeh, if the ceiling of its cover is not fastened to it well, Bechibur, with a close fit, Tamehu, it is Tameh. Ha im yesh tzamid pasil alav, but if its cover is fastened to it, tahor, it's tahor.
Right. Meaning if it's tightly sealed on top, then it remains tahor, because there's no way the tumah can get in. By the way, when it says it has to be fastened well, Lamaisa, if it's properly covered, even if it's not, you didn't put BG Bond or some other glue there, right? Nevertheless, if it's properly covered, let's say you take a peanut butter jar made of earthenware, you close the cover, right? Even though it's not necessarily sealed, it's easy to open it. Nevertheless, that is considered, as far as tumah is concerned, that's considered sealed because there's no air gap on the cover of the kli. Okay.
A seal. Lashon mechubar b'lashon Aravi.
Yeah.
This means attached in the Arabic language. V'chein, similarly, nif tulei Elokim,
Naftulei Elokim niftalti.
Naftulei Elokim niftalti. I have been joined in the joinings of Hashem, which means nis chabarti im achosi. I've become attached to my sister.
Right. Means I've been. Means I'm an equal because Rachel was saying she'd given her maidservant Bilhah to Yaakov as a wife, and this was actually her second child, Don. And the first one was Don, the second one was Naphtali. And the reason why she called him Naphtali was because this is the reason, the prophet's given the reason.
Right, because she was
with bonds of God, I've become attached to my sister.
right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go on to Pasuk 16. And there.
Okay. Let's see. V'chol asher yiga al pnei hasadeh the halal cherev o v'meit o v'etzem adam o b'vakar uvaker, it looked like yitma shivat yamim. Okay. So if anyone touches on a open field, a person,
which means as opposed to underneath the roof, right?
Okay, right. Okay, no roof. One that was killed by a sword, or one the mate, the one that died, I guess, or the bone of a person, or the kaver, or a grave, I guess.
Correct.
Okay. Yitma, he will be impure for 7 days. Okay. Rashi says, let's see, al penei hasadeh, on an open field. Rabotenu darshu, so the rabbis explain.
Expounded.
Were expounded. L'rabot golel v'dofek. L'rabot.
To include.
No, to include. Golel v'dofek. I don't know what either of those words are.
Right?
Golel
Golel v'dofek. Now Rashi learns that means Goylel is the tombstone or the coffin cover.
Oh,
Actually, Rashi learns it's going on the coffin. That was go with the coffin cover and the sideboards, which hold up the cover.
oh,
So now, according to the way Rashi learns, this means that not only the corpse itself will exude tumah, and anything that comes in contact will become an ava tumah,
right.
but the coffin itself also has the same level of tumah as the corpse itself.
Oh, okay.
Rashi learns this din of Goyel B'David refers to the coffin, whereas Tosfos, a number of places, says it's referring to the tombstone.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
either way, both the coffin and the tombstone have this similar din, that they have the tumah of the actual corpse itself. Avi Avoy Satum.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So that's what
Okay.
it means when according to the way this explanation, which Rashi says is not the straightforward explanation, but it's the drash, means anybody who comes in contact al Pnei Asada with that which is on the face of the field, which means it's not the actual corpse itself, it's something which is open, meaning, let's say, according to Tosfos, actually, it's more poshut. After the person has been buried, he's inside the grave, so you don't see the corpse anymore. But the tombstone and the side stones which hold up the tombstone, that you do see.
Ah,
Okay? So that has a din of Avi Avoy Satum. It comes in contact with Pnei Asada, that which is on the face of the field.
mhm.
That's what Rashi said. That's what according to this rabbinic explanation. And then Rashi says, "Upshutoi."
Okay. Vishuto al Pnei Asadeh she'ein sham ohel mitamei hamet sham b'nigi'ah. Okay, so in this
Whereas the previous pasuk had mentioned, the first two pasuk Yudalit and Tesvav had mentioned what's the din about anything that's found under the same roof as the corpse. Right, and this pasuk is telling you, well, if it's not under a roof, that the corpse is in the open, then the person will only become tomei with actually coming in contact with the corpse.
Oh, okay.
That's what Rashi means.
Oh, okay.
Then it says She'ein Sham Oil, where there's no roof, there's no canopy,
Right.
right? The corpse causes impurity only by contact.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Okay. Very good.
Let's go on. Pasuk Yud Zayin. No, it's actually, well, there's no Rashi on that, but that's a Lu. Going to read the Pasuk Yud Zayin.
The Lakhu Latame Me Afar Serefas Achata As Vinasan Al Alav Mayim Chaim El Kelly.
Kelly. Sounds Irish.
And they shall take for the person who is tamei from the ashes of the burning of the
So you would normally translate a sin offering, but it really means, Rashi mentioned it, chatos, it means it's the purifier.
The pure.
Rashi on the Rashi on Pasuk Yud Aleph. I think it was. No, sorry, Rashi on Pasuk Tes. Chatos he. Referring to the Parah Aduma, it's called a chatos.
Right. Of
She
the
said, Lashon chitui, kipshuta.
V'nasan alav mayim chayim, and put on it living water. El keli, in the vessel.
Right.
In a vessel. No Rashi on that one. V'lakach.
By the way, the Gemara actually asks that, like, there's a contradiction in terms over here. What comes first, the water or the ashes?
The ashes.
Because we say the ashes.
Yeah.
Why? Because it says, "When our son love ma'im chayim," shall take for the impure person from the ashes of the burning of the chatos, of the purifier, and you shall put upon it, right? When our son, he shall place upon it ma'im chayim, living water, which actually translated as,
My English says spring water.
yeah, spring water. That's how I translate it as well. Ma'im chayim means it comes from a not a stagnant source. It comes from a flowing source. Spring water. Okay. Now, so what's the next two words? Last two words mean El Kelly.
I would say to the vessel.
What does that mean? So it sounds like Kipshuta means El Kelly means that the water will come into the vessel. So the Gemara asks, El Kelly implies that the water is put directly into the vessel. And then the Pasuk says, "Well, son olav ma'im chayim," you put upon the ashes water, as mashma, the ashes come first. So the Gemara answers, you first put a little bit of water into the kli, and then you put the ashes on top of that, and then you put more water on top of the ashes. Okay? Let's continue. Pasuk, no rush on that. No, Pasuk Yud Ches.
V'lakach ezov v'taval b'mayim ish tahor v'hiza al ha
Sorry, he's
al ha'ohel v'al kol hakelim v'al ha'nefashos asher hayu sham v'al ha'nogea ba'etzem o bechalal o v'mes o v'kaver.
Right.
Wow. He shall
Pasuk that one, eh?
He shall put hyssop and dip it in water, and the person who's doing this is a man, tahor, a pure man. And he shall sprinkle on the tent and on all the vessels and on the people that were there, and on the one who touched the bone, or the halal is what
the slain person,
the slain person, or the corpse, or the grave.
right?
Okay, no Rashi on that. V'hizah hatahor al hatamei bayom hashlishi uvayom hashevi'i v'chit o bayom hashevi'i v'chibes bigadav v'rachatz b'mayim v'taher ba'arev. And he shall sprinkle the pure person shall sprinkle on the person who is tamei on the third day, and on the fourth and on the seventh day, and he will make him tahor on the seventh day, and then he shall immerse his clothing and wash in water, and purify and be tahor in the evening.
Yeah.
So Rashi says v'chit o bayom hashvi'i hu gemar taharaso. It is the completion of the becoming tahor. And that's it.
So he says, the Sifsei Chachamim explains that technically what the pasuk is indicating over here, that he needs to be sprinkled on the third day and on the seventh day. Now let me ask you, what happens if he forgot to do it on the third day? Can he do it the next day? The fourth day?
I would guess yes.
Yes, he can. Right? That's why also the Chazal learn out from the Psukim, it doesn't have to be the third day. It has to be a minimum of 3 days. And so it has to be a minimum of the third day. But if it's afterwards in the fourth day, fifth day, it's also okay. But if he does do it, let's say on the fifth day, when does he do the second sprinkling?
On the seventh.
No. He does it 4 days later.
Oh, really?
Right.
Huh.
So if he does on the fifth day, then the second sprinkling he'll do on the ninth day. Because that's really what the pasuk's telling you. You've got to have Vayom Hashlishi Vayom Hashvi. It has to be on the third day, and then on the seventh day, you have to have a 4-day gap between the first sprinkling and the second sprinkling. Okay? And similarly, there's also another din. If he did it on the first sprinkling on the third day, and he forgot to do it on the seventh day, he's on the 8th or the 9th day. Can he do it then? The answer is also yes. As long as you have the minimum of 3 days from the time he became impure, from the time he became Tomei, so the first sprinkling has to be at least 2 days later. It has to be on the third day after he became Tomei, not less. And then the second sprinkling has to be on the seventh day, meaning not less than 4 days from the first sprinkling. But otherwise, if you did the first sprinkling on the 4th day and the second sprinkling on the 10th day, it's fine. No problem. Okay? I think we'll end over here.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll go a little bit further because I want to do a little bit about the Maisa of Moshe hitting the rock.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Very
So
good.
we're going to, shall we start chapter 20 tomorrow? Okay,
Okay.
very good.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Be well.